Hey everybody, welcome to the third episode of our Cthulhutech campaign. We have everybody here gathered once again to pursue madness and madness. So,
Just madness. There's no other option.
Just a lot of madness. So, as a refresher, last session we ended, the pack had managed to find High Top, the rogue operative that betrayed his Tager pack, tracked him down to an apartment outside of the arcology where he was with a NEG private who was also parapsychic. Unfortunately, there's a firefight. Some Children of Chaos backed security forces showed up, had a bit of a scuffle. The characters got away. Unfortunately, though, they awoke something within that apartment.
Damn you, Shrugnaggaroth.
Yeah, that became quite a problem, and they left it for the NEG to handle. So they took off, leaving the NEG helicopters that were inbound to take care of the overgrowing plants that started to form out of the blood of the fallen. In addition to that, they managed to secure a safe house further into the Barrens, away from the arcology, where they could question this NEG private about what was going on. Unfortunately, they killed the rogue operator, and he is beyond questioning at this point. So they had one lead, and that was the NEG private. She tried messing with their minds, and apparently Savage got a little mad and decided to just knock her the fuck out by crushing her foot after headbutting her in the face. So that's where they're at. It's still the same day. It's 9/18/2087. It's roughly midday. You guys just had pizza and beer. You're in this back office area in the warehouse that is secured. You have the dead body of High Top that's there. You guys managed to get what appeared to be some sort of password off of his corpse. You discovered the Esoteric Order of Dagon tattoo on the NEG private. She is currently tied up and knocked out in a chair in the middle of this dusty and old office building, or office room, I should say. What are you guys doing? You got Eric there with you. His driver's out by the car. He's just kind of chilling, watching you guys as this NEG private slumps over and just gets passed out.
Well, I'm going to continue eating pizza.
Okay.
I am also going to continue eating pizza.
I gave Eric the password, right? Because we don't know what it's for.
Morty. I do science. One takes brains, the other takes dark eyeliner.
Thank you, Chris. Getting jumped out the gate.
I thought somebody just fucking beefed up the plants again.
Nope, I cannot add points.
Ours don't count.
You guys don't count. So the password you guys got looks like it's formatted to be a computer password. There's a series of letters and numbers and some characters. Eric looked it over, and it's pretty much, he's pretty certain it's a computer password of some type, or a program password.
I'd say, Ray, is it the same password that I would have had to crack to get into the computer to steal all that information?
No.
Okay.
I will be... Is there a radio or something in this warehouse?
There is like a small AM/FM like little radio. It's probably harkens back a couple decades. It's old, but it might still work.
I'm gonna look for like a
I don't do magic, Morty. I do science. One takes brains, the other takes dark eyeliner.
What might be going on?
Fair enough. Russ, where do you want it to go? Do you want to go to the players or the NPCs? Because I'll always give it to the NPCs. You all know that already.
He said taggers.
To the taggers.
Literally there.
Yeah, sometimes you can change your mind. It's okay. I don't mind that if you decide that, the way of wisdom is to go to the NPCs. Jeff, you're dialing through. Savage basically gets the radio and plugs it into the outlet. It takes a second, but it kicks up, and you're just kind of like tuning through the frequencies to see what's going on out there. Tuning through the frequencies, you get a lot of static. You get the occasional like pirate, radio station, like some local kids have started to like broadcast music on a hijacked frequency. But after a couple of those, you manage to find a very staticky, news station. It seems like somebody in the local area is broadcasting on the AM frequency what's going on, so people can stay in their homes. Through the static, you pick up a couple of key things that are going on. The NEG have fully engaged some sort of monstrous plant growth that's completely subsumed an entire apartment building near the arcology. The problem is, as much as they're using like minor explosives and gunfire, it's not having any effect. So they've switched to incendiaries. So they're starting to burn this building down. Now, there's already a moderate blaze inside from the melted stairwell and the meteor strike that was caused by Ember. But
Only
now,
moderate?
well, yeah, it's all stone. But
You
now,
gotta get better at that, Sean.
uh-oh,
Yeah,
fighting words
we
right
can
there.
go. We can go back. I can hit it again.
But
Calling them out.
at this point, they're starting to just try to burn down the whole facility. They're going after it with all kinds of, flame projectors. But the problem is, it's not just this thing they're starting to fight. It seems like people took opportunity of this opening, like this chaos going down, to start attacking that arcology gateway. So right now, there are reports of the mecha that were stationed outside that gate engaging all sorts of creatures and horrors that have been summoned by what are assumed to be cultists near the gateway or near the entrance to the arcology. So there's it's a mini war zone right now.
That's rough. I'm gonna rip part of her shirt, and I'm gonna use it as a blindfold on her. Maybe she can't use her powers if she can't see us.
Okay.
I thought we already did that.
Yeah, you did.
Did we?
Yeah,
I know we chained
yeah,
her
and
up.
it
I just
didn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah, it didn't matter.
Gotcha.
She still got you.
She got one more chance before I let Ember just fucking flame her to death.
Yeah, I'm still standing behind her as I was asked to do, and I'll be just kind of keeping an eye on her while I'm eating a slice of pizza.
Yeah, she's knocked the fuck out, and she's going to be out for a little bit of time. Let's just put it that way. So you guys will actually have to forcefully try to wake her up to get her to stir.
The first, what I'm going to do, since I know we're not far, I'm going to figure out how to get up onto the roof so I can look to that building and see what I can see from the building we're at. Because I know we're only a couple blocks away from what's going on.
Can you fly, Bobby?
I cannot.
Yeah. So the rooftop does have that sunroof that can open up, but you have to fly to get up there.
There's no ladder or anything on the outside.
Nope.
Gotcha.
And you can see, because if you remember, the entire outside of the walls are being projected on the inside, so they have a 360 view of everything around them.
How high up is
Oh,
it?
so we can actually see outside.
Yeah, it's a 2-story building. So the first level you guys have here is mostly barren, except for this small office area that was built where you guys are right now. The most of it
Right.
is just bare concrete and steel I-beams. The second floor is like a small pseudo ringing balcony that you can see further out, and then the third story is like where that, where the sunroof is that you guys can leave through if you could fly. So you could theoretically just take up one of the stairs to the second level and just look through the walls, because that's how it's set up.
I'll head up there because I'm putting distance between me and the psychic.
Yeah, fair enough. You staying in
Yeah,
human
I'll
form,
have-
or are you going Tager and flying up?
That's what I was gonna say. I'm gonna set our glide up.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and take the stairs up
Okay.
up to the second level, see what I can see.
You have the second level without issue. Getting up there's not hard at all. You make
Right.
it up, and what you guys can see from that direction is over the din of all like the rooftops and all the kind of like piecemeal together hovels and like squalor around you. You can see that apartment building, and it's covered, like one whole side of it's just covered in vines and green leaves. You can see the helicopters flying around it, and they're just lobbing incendiary grenades at the growth. And you'll see that whatever chemicals are in these grenades is sticking to the foliage, it's sticking to the vines, it's starting to burn them. But whenever it burns, the plants react. Like they start pulling back or trying to move away from that area of burnt foliage and let it fall to the ground as it starts to regrow and sprout itself.
Yeah, I think those plants they probably ate everybody else in the building because it's covered the whole thing, and the helicopters are bombarding it, and they ain't doing shit.
Yeah, it's going to take some
Great.
serious effort for them to curtail that and contain that.
Fuck.
Wunderbar.
All right. I'll just look over at what's his name, our handler.
Eric.
Eric.
Can you see what you can dig up on the tattoo that she's got, the esoteric Order of Dagon or whatever?
I think it's kind of evident, Savage. Like,
I'd say Melisandre's just like eyes narrowed at you, like, what?
I'm trying to figure out. I want to get information from her when she wakes up. But I'm sick of her fucking with us. So she's got one more chance, and then I'm just gonna have her killed.
Yeah, it's you guys' call. I don't. However you guys want to handle that.
But we might have to go back and deal with those plants, because if the choppers can't do shit and the mechs are too busy protecting the archaeology, I mean, we don't want to be seen or known by the NEG, but at this point, we may not have a choice.
I get where you come from, Savage, but I have to disagree. That's a whole lot of not our fucking problem. Because the moment you guys go out there and shift,
My man.
that's a problem. Like, you're going to be just as targeted as that thing is.
Yeah.
He does have a point there.
All right, so do we need to wake this lady back up?
Yeah.
I'm glad that you
I'll
struggled
grab-
with the word lady.
I'm a polite, refined kind of guy.
Since
I'll grab
when?
I'll grab one of the cold beers and open it and just splash it in her face.
At which point Meltona goes, "Hey,
Yeah, Eric's
waste
like,
of
"That's what are you
booze."
doing?" But she'll get splashed. Like, you'll see the beer kind of just splash across her face. She'll kind of shift and groan a bit in the chair. And you'll see she moves to try to sit up, but she's bound. You guys managed to successfully get her bound with the cables and all that were in the office. Her covered eyes with a blindfold, start to sweep around the room, like trying to pick up on where people are at.
I will reach down from behind her and like pick her up to sit her up by like the back of her collar or her shirt or something. Just lift her up, sit her upright.
Okay.
Here's the deal.
You grab her, and she's like, "Thanks," and you set her back in.
Here's the deal. This can go one of two ways. You're already aware of the first way. It's a lot of pain. A lot of pain, a lot of pain, a lot of pain. The other is quick, but that all depends on what you're willing to tell us on what's going on with this esoteric order of Dagon that you belong to and what they have planned.
So let me get this straight. And her face goes straight towards you. Of course, she can't see you because of blindfold, but she definitely stares directly at where you generally are. So let me get this straight. You want me to talk about the Order of Dagon as if you don't know what it is, and start divesting to you the things that they may or may not have told me, a peon in the ranks, were I part of that cult. In essence, betraying the people I decided to join up with and risk my entire career and life for. What about
pretty much.
that do you think is actually going to work? Like, does this actually work with people?
I mean, this is the first time we've actually had to beat it out of somebody, I guess.
I mean, the other option is we could always just burn her.
Well, I mean, that's probably what's going to happen because she's clearly not willing to talk.
Yeah, you're right, because you let me go, I'm going to suffer a fate worse than that. You killing me is doing me a favor.
I could feed her to the shrubs.
Ooh. Oh, wait, no. If killing her is doing her a favor, we could just keep her alive.
Oh.
Why don't we
We
start
have the
with
technology.
this password and this information that we have, this login or whatever. What's that to?
You can see her brow furrow, like, just beneath the blindfold. She's like, what password? What are you talking about?
I don't know. We got some login password off of somebody. I don't know. I'm not good with this computer shit. Right, Eric? Is that what we got? What did we get?
Yeah, it's a
A
password.
password
It's for a computer.
Password.
off your friend.
Who, Richard? That's he's not my friend. But sure, why don't you check his computer? Like, why are you asking? What? You guys are really
two-
bad at this. And she just kind of like generally sweeps her head around the room.
Yeah, I'm better at burning people alive inside their own skin. I'm really, really making an effort here to turn over a new leaf and go about this a different way. So you and whatever his name is, your friend, not friend, you were in his apartment hooking up with him or doing whatever you're doing. You're in league doing something together. You're involved in some little schemy, sneaky bullshit that's impacting our organization's ability to do our job. People are getting betrayed and killed. We're here to find out why, and I'm getting a little bit impatient now.
Because you guys are on the wrong side of history. That's why people are getting betrayed and killed. You guys hear Eric go, you know what, fuck this. And you see him pull out his pistol, pointing at her knee, and pull the trigger. Blast her knee open, and it just blood and bone and cartilage splatters against one of the office cabinets. And she just screams. She just screams, like after Eric pulls the trigger and just calmly reholsters his weapon. That stings, right? It's going to hurt a lot more if one of these guys decides to just have fun and let loose. I suggest talking. And she just like, you feel her body, since you're right there by her, Sean, just tense up, and she just spits in his direction and just says, "Fuck you."
Ooh, does this mean I can pop out of her like Jack out of his box now?
No, not yet. Ember,
Damn it.
make her fucking regret her decision real quick.
Cauterize the wound.
I'm going
He has a
to.
point.
I will shift, but I will do the thing where I make an effort to minimize how
Oh, the heat that.
my fire starter ability. I can like minimize that, so I'm not like just an inferno that's going to burn this whole place down.
Okay.
So I'll dampen it a little bit, and I will just put like my hand like increasingly closer and closer to her, so she can start to feel the heat get hotter and hotter and build up against like the side of her face.
So everybody can see that when Ember starts to take his Tager form, like as his skin starts to burn and melt off and reveals that the molten rock of his Tager form. What's odd about it, usually when you guys see him, he's all about just letting the flames just fly out from around him, and everything around him starts to combust. In this case, though, that heat is like this bluish glow, like it's condensed, like he's holding it in so that heat doesn't escape and just erupt around the area around him. But it has the effect of making the rest of his body super, super hot. So as he does this, he puts that hand forward, and you can, first off, her hair starts to burn
Singe.
as you get closer, and that smell hits the air, that horrific smell of burning hair. She catches it, and you can see her nose kind of wrinkle, and as the heat kind of brushes past her face, she instinctively kind of jerks, a little away from you.
I'll just keep getting closer and closer.
Fun part is we can do this all day.
So as Ember's hand starts getting closer and Savage speaks up, you just kind of see her face go from this, like, get that away from me, it's hot, like that uncomfortableness, and starts to get a little more firm. Like her jaw clenches. She seems to be a bit more like set. So she's gonna make a tenacity roll here really quick. So her tenacity is 3d10 plus.
I can't talk in this form, right?
No, not that she can understand. You can talk to anybody else who's in Tager form because you have that mental link, but you have no verbal capabilities. She'll use the 9, so for a 16, and she'll actually move into your hand as it's burning, and you'll see that it's not like she's just slamming herself against you. She's catching your hand on the blindfold. And so when that goes up, she immediately pulls away. She does take some damage here. She'll take, I'd say probably at least a d10 of damage. So go ahead and roll. Oof. 7. That's a rough one. So she's hurt a bit more than she intended. The entire side of her face is now just burned and blistered skin. Definitely going to leave a scar. But the blindfold starts to fall, and she looks up immediately and catches the eyes of Savage.
I'd say the second that starts happening, I'm shifting.
I warned you.
You see her brow furrow, like she's concentrating. Savage, you feel the hairs on the back of your neck start to stand up again. We have
Shift.
Ghost shifts into her specter form, and then
Yep.
Bishop immediately goes up too. You guys both erupt into symbiotic form.
I'm shifting as well.
Everybody
And I'm looking
shifts.
At,
Fuck
I'm
it.
looking at the skylight. How does it open?
There's a button on the inside when you fly up.
All right, I will fly up there and open it.
Okay. So that opens up. You flying out into the area. We'll get back to you in a second. Inside, because you're actually catching something out here. Inside, she's obviously focused on Savage. You guys are all erupting your form. Eric sees you guys basically pull a Guyver and transform yourselves, and he just steps out of the room. He's like, "You all got this," and he walks outside. What do you guys
Above my
do?
pay grade.
I mean, as soon as I know that anything, I don't know how quickly that it would register that she's fucking with Savage, but as soon as I am aware that that's going on, I'm gonna just fully unleash and bear hug her.
I'd say I'll take that 4, and since I have chilled touch, grabbing right onto her shoulders for the shock.
So we've got fire bear hugging you from behind, and we've got chill
And
touch
ice
from
coming
the
up from the
front.
back.
Icy hot.
She screams. between the
Good.
influx of temperatures from around her body and her back, the chair itself, as Ember reaches his arms around those massive, like, molten rock arms and pulls that chair back against itself for that bear hug, you can feel that metal heat up and start to melt against your body. It just can't sustain itself with the amount of heat that's coming off of you. And then from the front, her entire front of her body gets covered in frost as we have Ghost reach out and just grab her shoulders with her chill touch. She screams.
touch.
She writhes in pain. She's only got 3 points of health left, and that's going to do her the fuck in. There's no way she's surviving by that duo.
Savage did say she had one last chance.
Fair enough. Savage, for your edification, that weird sensation that something's brushing up against your mind essentially vanishes as soon as she passes out for the last time. Now, up top, as Arclight gets a good view of everything around the area, you look down and you see this group of like 4 or 5 individuals shambling towards the warehouse.
Guys, we have shit
I'm going invisible.
headed our way. They're kind of
Yeah.
moving zombie like.
Good.
I'm gonna focus my acute vision.
So what you see is that they look like normal people from the street. So they're wearing like jeans and t-shirts and hoodies. The weather can be unpredictable out here, so some people wear jackets, some people just wear normal hoodies. But as they're walking, imagine feeling compelled to move in a certain way that you're not really in control of your own muscular structure, your muscular system. You're being compelled against your will. And what you're seeing is there's like all sorts of these weird spores that have taken root onto the sides of the faces of these individuals.
Shrugnaggaroth.
And they're coming directly for the warehouse. Now, on the inside, Savage, while your symbiote has covered you and protected you, that gunshot wound you got hit, where your blood fell all over the inside of that apartment once you got shot, you can feel like an ache, a dull ache around where that wound is, even though it's healed at this point in time.
I'm going to go ahead and relay the description of those 4 people to everybody inside.
Good, let them come.
Stay in here. We're gonna barricade up and let them come in. Interceptor, get your driver. And how far away are they?
For Chris, they're probably about a good 10 to 20 yards out.
They're
Go run him over.
less than a block away.
Go run him over.
All right, hop in the car.
No,
Get the fuck out of here.
no, man, burn. It's spores, man. They need to be burned out.
I can do
Well,
that.
I'd say we know
Right
who's
up,
good for that.
right up Ember's alley.
You guys will hear the car doors open and shut.
Yep. Yeah. Like I said, I'll shift down so I can tell Interceptor to.
You have your comm link that you can use while you're up there. Remember, you just can't activate
right,
like. So think of it this way: like when you're in that weird realm between spaces, everything on your body's in there. You just can't see it. You can still utilize it. So like the comm will still work for him.
I don't do magic, Morty. I do science.
You
One
just-
takes brains, the other takes dark eyeliner.
Well,
You just can't
stop
see
feeding the
things on your
plants.
body. That's all. No.
Fuck.
Like this is. I appreciate it. Keep feeding the plants. Keep
Okay,
feeding
I'll
the
let it-
plants.
Like I said, I'll let Interceptor know to get out of here, get somewhere safe so we can stay in communication. And I'm gonna have us set up. Arclight's definitely gonna be up top. Ghost is invisible, and me and Ember are gonna be right in the middle of the warehouse. Wherever they're coming from, they got to come into the warehouse. We're gonna try and maybe pick them off as they come in. Tactically, I think that's kind of smart.
All right. So they'd have to come through the walls or the door, and you know that those are sealed right now. If Eric leaves, the door opens.
Right?
Yep.
So you want him to leave the door
plan.
open?
Leave the door open. Let them
Okay.
come in through the door. And
So
then when they're all in, we'll close it and have at it.
fair enough. So Eric and his driver will go towards the door, and you guys will hear that grinding of the gears as the chains pull those massive fucking doors apart. And on the outside, the sun's still, beaten down pretty well, but you can see those figures that Arclight had commented about slowly making their way towards the door. And they look like they're just normal people, but there's that weird growth of this fungal or these spores on the side of their faces, on their exposed skin, that's propelling them in this direction. The car the sedan, revs its engine and just takes off past them and starts heading towards the arcology again. Those things start making their way towards the doors. They're not moving quickly. It's just like a shuffling pace.
Okay. Yeah, we'll fucking wait for him to come in so we can close it off and fight him in relative privacy.
Okay.
I'm looking for other potential threats.
Go ahead and roll me your observation.
Go forth, Mr. I see everything.
Indeed.
Go forth and see everything.
What do your elf eyes tell us?
In my soul.
This area that we're in, it's like an industrial area, right? It's pretty well abandoned. It's not like there's
Yeah.
like traffic or people walking by.
Not a lot. You got some hovels and like some ramshackle structures around you, but you're kind of in the barrens. Like you're not really in that more patrolled part of the outside of the arcology. You've gotten a little bit away from that. You're more isolated. So there's some businesses out here, but honestly, a lot of the buildings in this area are old school abandoned stuff from back before the arcology was built.
I hope to accidentally, on purpose, burn this warehouse down.
Remember, this warehouse is on loan to
Belongs
you
to another
guys from
Taker
another
Pack.
Taker pack.
Yeah, it sucks. we may owe them a warehouse. I don't know.
And that
Thank you.
there it is. Here we go. Whoa, +2 +12. Qua?
Yep. 2 is my acute sense sight,
Oh, okay. Cool.
and 12 is my perception
Yep.
in this
So
form.
so 32 essentially. No, 22. Sorry, 32. Wow, that's
Yeah,
I can math.
Sure.
22.
Yeah, sure, 32.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, whatever. Yeah.
Eh?
So threat is a very broad category, but there are certainly things coming this direction. You have the shambling spore zombies essentially that are coming here. However, they're getting here, no idea. But more so, there's a broadsword, a centurion mech that's been shambling this direction as well. You only see it as you scan because you start seeing dust clouds pop up from between buildings. And when you try to
Right.
focus on what the hell it is, you see this 10-foot tall armored mech start making its way towards the warehouse. Now, this mech, it's bipedal, so it's walking on 2 legs, only about 10 feet tall. One arm is actually a sleek gun. The other arm does have like a jointed and spiked metal fist that is at the end of it. The helmet's more like a dome that comes down, and you have like it looks like a filtration system that is around the
Okay.
collar of that kind of like hunched down head. You also do manage to see that it has like large shoulder pads, like that just cover the joints and the ball joints of the arms as they were able to move freely.
Guys, we have elevated threat coming in. Armored mech.
Shit.
How would they
Looks-
know we are here?
She works for the
I don't
NG.
know.
She might have a tracker.
Well,
I don't think-
it's either that or somebody's got spores on them.
Oh, who's got spores?
I would guess the person piloting the mech.
Maybe. We should. These things are just shambling. Let's fucking run out of here. Let's take them further out.
Jeff, do you want to
Thought
make
you'd never
Yes.
say that.
an occult roll really quick for me?
Sure.
Just Jeff or anybody who has a cult.
Jeff primarily. This is more of an
Yes.
insight from his symbiote.
We have to manually type these in, right?
Yes,
Yep.
sir. Yeah, they won't roll automatically here.
Yep, took me a hot minute
Just
to remember that.
I'm rolling my occult and adding my intellect, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Do you want to use any of the dice? You have a free one, a free
We
story
also
point.
have our own drama points.
Yep.
That's true. I'll use the free one and one of mine
Okay.
because I have a shit occult. That adds plus.
But you're the one who got the fucking. You recognize the tattoo out of anybody else. Must have
So
just been
I'll
luck.
take the 14.
This is more of an insight from your connection with the beyond through your symbiote, right? You occasionally feel its urges. You kind of understand its motivations. Hence, your personality changes after becoming a
I don't
nightmare.
do magic, Morty. I do science. One takes brains, the other takes dark eyeliner.
Russ, where's that going?
Well, he said yes, so I'm going to assume that then means that the drama point goes to us.
I assume
Yeah, clear.
nothing.
Clearly. I think it's pretty clear.
I would think it's clear.
He assumes nothing.
I will assume nothing. But while we wait on Russ saying players or NPCs, we'll go forward with this insight that Savage gets. The wound hurting. You got shot. Your blood was spilt in that apartment. They're tracking you, probably
Tigers.
because they consumed your blood.
Oh shit.
The master portion of them that's controlling them consumed your blood.
Oh God, it's like our Guru pack. They tasted your blood. Now they have to kill you.
So I'll relay that in the chat. I think, or not in the chat, in our mind speak. I think they know where we're at because when I was shot, my blood hit the floor. So if they've encompassed that whole building, they've gotten a hold of my blood. Maybe that gives them the ability to find me.
Well, it's time to burn
That
them
makes
and their
sense.
blood.
So they're just going to always know where you are now?
Unless we kill the hive mind, maybe.
All right.
It's the only
I'm
thing I
gonna
can
look
think of.
over. I'm gonna
What's-
look
how
over
else
the
would they
building,
know we're
Ray.
here?
Okay.
What does it look like? And how is the extermination process going?
It's actually making a lot of progress. You can see now they've switched to just hardcore flaming the shit out of everything. They've got a lot of mechs in the area now that have come down and they're just firing off incendiary rockets and missiles. The building itself is turning to rubble, like as you look at it. Like they're just decimating that entire building. Unfortunately, every time something explodes on that building, you'll see this puff of spores and pollen that goes out.
Oh
shitty.
my God!
That is so terrible.
Fuck. Oh, man.
These idiots are spreading this shit.
And this is why.
Because the guy inside's fucking infected.
Which means the rest of the mechs that are over there are soon to be too. Which means we're pretty well fucked.
Well, we have two options. We make a run for it and draw them further out, or we stay here and try and fight what we can until we become overwhelmed and then try to run.
I
But
say
we gotta
make
make it quick because they'll be here shortly, and I'll just kind of point out the door.
Time to make a stand.
Yeah, you'll
We ain't got
see
time for this bullshit.
they're like maybe 5 yards away now from the entrance. There's only 4 of them, and they don't appear to be carrying any sort of weapons.
They need to be burned alive. Burn the spores.
How far behind them is the mech?
That's probably about 2 blocks out.
All right, so probably a couple rounds.
All right. When these things come in, we'll close the doors. That mech will have to fight in. Maybe in the meantime, we can figure out a good mode of intercepting it before it comes in. I don't know. Arclight, let me know what you see while we're doing this.
I'm keeping recount open.
Ember, reduce them to ashes, man. As soon as they get in here.
Who's going to close the door?
Ghost. Nobody can see her.
Oh, thanks.
Okay.
Love being volunteered.
You got voluntold.
Damn. You got delegated.
Well, they're coming after me, so they're going to be walking towards me.
Yes, we do
tactically
need to have a
speaking.
discussion about that. You may have to hug our boy.
I don't have any spores in me. I would feel that. They've tasted my blood.
Yeah.
They can track my blood because it was spilled on the floor when I was shot in the apartment. It was before the plants even started. But because they've encompassed the building, they got that little spot on the floor where my blood hit.
Gotta start
Trust me,
burning that
if I was
floor.
infected with spores, I'd know it. I would know it, and I'll point to my symbiote self.
Yeah. The claw's like, ah, rah, rah.
Right.
So you guys wait for these 4 spore zombies essentially to shamble their way into the building. And they are, as predicted, going straight for Savage. They don't seem to give a fuck
Okay.
that he's a nightmare. They don't care that there's other monstrous things around him. They're shambling straight towards him. As they're getting
I'll
closer,
back up all the way, so they would have to walk through the whole warehouse to get to me, basically.
so you'll stand back by the office essentially and make them
Yes.
come the whole like 30, 40 feet. Okay. As you back up, you guys get a better look at these things up close now. You can see that part of their skin, like one side is covered in like this moss-like growth, and the other side is started to become like hard and rigid, like as if it were becoming bark, essentially.
Bark. Yeah.
And as they walk, you can see when their feet hit the concrete floor, you hear this snap of like twigs and wood as from out of their shoes and boots, like these tendrils and these vines, like roots, are trying to find purchase on the concrete, but they can't because it's concrete. So there's that little scraping sound as the wood kind of tries to dig into concrete, but pulls back towards the main body of this host, and they start making their way towards you. It doesn't seem like they are confused or shocked. They are just walking with intent.
Well, my fist is going to make purchase with their face. And once they get close enough, I'm just going to charge forward and
Flame on.
flame on.
Just start burning things.
Dragon punch a motherfucker.
Fair enough.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Yeah, we'll
Alright.
open. We're not even going to open with the jab. We're just going to go straight for the demonic uppercut, just off the bat. Just get it out of the way.
And as soon as they're in and the door is closed, I'm going to start shooting them with my missile pods.
okay. So a couple things are gonna happen here. One, they're just zombies. Like in Tiger form, these are like one-shot kills to you guys. Because one, they're already like compromised because their bodies aren't strong enough to fight this invader off. And two, you're fucking takers. Your nightmares can form. We've got rocket uppercut, fist of death over here. We've got missile pods of eldritch energy firing off from every direction over there. We've got the person who can just go intangible and pop out of people's chests. This is a really short but bloody fight. But what you do notice is that whenever Ember hits them, every impact has like this puff of like pollen that comes off of them. But Ember's body, when they start to fall towards him, they all get incinerated. It's like watching sparks of fire in the air just ignite as he starts beating these things up. When your energy hits them, you see the body gets like kind of chunks blown off of it by the force of impact. And with those chunks, you actually see the spores get released as well. Like the inside of the bodies are rotten. It's all been eaten away and taking up like this spore colony that's forming inside of it.
Oh, that's fucking fast.
Now, as your energy hits and parts of them get blown apart, when those chunks hit the ground, you can see they start trying to grow over like moss and try to take root in the ground. Like you kill the body, but that infection is still there.
Ember is going to have to basically
Stomp it out.
run his warehouse. and
Scorched
stomp it
earth.
out. I'll just tell Arclight telepathically, just keep us posted on how close that thing is getting. That mech's not going to be a fun fucking fight.
Yeah, I'm giving them an update every 100 feet.
So by the time that Ember goes around and kind of stamps out the last bits of spores, and also like his flaming aura does start to catch those on fire as well. You hear like these small screams as the last of them are destroyed. By the time that happens is when Arclight sees that mech it's a small mech, only 10 feet tall, kind of crest the last hill of refuse to get close to the warehouse. So it's within probably about 20 yards at most.
Do we open the door and let it in, or make it fight to get in?
Is it covered in shit?
No.
It's the guy inside.
Have we ever fought one of these things before?
Nope. First time for everything.
Okay.
And these things are integrity skill. They're a bigger, so like every 1 point they have of health is 50 vitality.
Holy shit.
Unless you get to the person inside.
Sure, but
Or we do hybrid.
all your limits do hybrid damage, so that's a plus for those who have not used the limit yet. Which
Yeah,
I think
our
is
limits.
only
We each get one per.
so only Savage still has his because Ember called a meteor strike.
Yep.
Ghost destroyed that one last guardsman with hers, and then Arclight
Yep.
fucking killed like 3
Did
people
my strafing run. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I thought it was per. Okay, I guess see what you're saying.
per day. Yeah,
I thought
Yeah,
it was
it's per
per.
24
That was per
hours.
gaming session.
nope.
Nope.
It's every 24 hours.
So here's the deal. After we deal with this thing, we need to get out of here. Because as long as that fucking big thing is alive, because I'm assuming that's the hive mind, these infected things will continuously come for me. So we'll have to drive further out into the waste, or we need to get back into the archaeology since they're fighting over there anyways.
We
Which
know.
would be fucking impossible, pretty much.
I'd say we know that there is someone in there, right, Ray?
Inside the mech,
Yeah.
I mean, that's a pilot is kind of necessary for those. So yeah, there's definitely got to be somebody inside. That's for
At
sure.
which point, if we can just get them out, say someone can phase through metal and push them out a door, we solve this problem real fast.
We'll see.
Give
You
it a
know,
shot.
if it was that easy, I'm pretty sure the Esoteric Order of Dagon or any of the other cults out there to be able to figure out how to beat these mechs easier too. But I'm all for an attempt.
Yeah,
Well,
I
there's
don't know
also the
how.
question of whether or not the hive mind can pilot it more than it just walking.
No, I'm pretty sure that Shinji is not coming out of the mech.
He's not going to pilot the fucking robot. Change his mind. So it starts shambling, and as it gets closer, you guys can actually hear like the metal of its feet stamp on the ground, kicking up dust clouds as it makes its way towards the warehouse. Now, since the warehouse is set up in this certain way, you can actually see him approach through the walls of the warehouse. Because remember, they have cameras on the outside that kind of transpose that outside image, a 360-degree view, on the insides of the walls of the warehouse. So
Which is fucking awesome, I just want to say.
Yeah, I know. This is something that's like
We
criminal
gotta get it
hideout
for the
shit.
house.
Yeah,
We
absolutely.
get it for the house. We gotta
Absolutely.
get this for the house. We gotta get the fucking the warding for the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just it would have been the perfect place. It's just too bad about that fire that burned it down that happened accidentally.
All right.
I'm gonna back up into the corner out of the range of the door, and I'll just tell Ember, go ahead and open it up. Ghost, try your thing when it comes in. Then Ember, close the door, and then if that doesn't work, get out of the way because I'm gonna blast it.
I was actually going to see if it was actually following you or if it's following the 2 dead bodies back there that also got shot in that apartment.
Oh shit! Burn those bodies too. High top bled all over the fucking apartment.
So
yeah,
did
he
she.
did. Y'all fucked him up.
She didn't bleed at all in the apartment.
Yes,
Nope.
she did. She
No,
got
she
injured
didn't.
there.
Nope.
No, she
she
didn't.
started.
I just
She
knocked
started
her
getting
out,
cut
so I choked
open
her out.
in the warehouse.
Yeah,
She
well,
got
got-
cut
she
open
got
in the
cold
warehouse,
cocked.
but we did. Yeah, she got cold cocked. You think that didn't bleed?
She didn't get cold cocked. I grabbed her by the face and choked her out with the tendril.
Oh,
I never
yeah,
touched
that's right.
her.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
yeah.
That's right. Yeah, the other dude got shot and punched.
But
Yeah, he got
not
all
her.
fucked up in that house.
Yeah, I tried to kneecap him and I ended up ending his life.
Okay, so you want me to open the door?
Yep.
I will open the door.
Okay, so you'll see this armored suit start walking towards that door as it opens. Now, the grinding of the gears and hearing it kind of like scrape against the concrete floor seems to draw its attention because it was just walking towards the corner. Like the most direct line to either Savage or those bodies up for debate is what was following. But that door kind of takes it off course as it now sees an entrance. 1 second.
And I can't see through its like helm or
No.
visor, right?
No. You can see that there are certainly some radio signals that are coming towards it, like somebody's trying to contact it, but it's not responding.
Yeah, I'll take that 19 to start climbing.
All right, give me 1 second here. I'm going to see if I can get you guys a good picture here of what this is looking like. So it's going to be just a
And
quick
after we-
second.
After we destroy this mech, burn whatever's in it, Amber, and go into the office and burn both those bodies too. We may as well just not leave any.
Just
fucking
burn this
evidence.
building to the ground.
I don't know about all
you'll,
that.
You'll never get a complaint from me on that.
Yeah, but you gotta look at it this way. Like, take whatever tech you can or whatever, but we don't know where the spores are in this place.
No, he ain't taking no tech. I can't work with pieces of melted slag.
Well, they're gonna come for this fucking robot.
Yeah,
This
they
power
are.
suit, they're gonna be coming for it.
Oh, this thing slag it.
So we gotta take whatever and like destroy everything else.
Maybe we can monitor communications or something. Who knows? We gotta survive it first, guys.
Yeah, one problem at a time.
Working on it.
Right. I'm trying to find this thing's freaking.
The picture in the book.
Well, no, I found that. What I'm looking right now is it's. There we are. Here's equipment.
Hey, Ray.
Yes, sir.
As it approaches the now opening door, right before it gets up to it, I'm dropping a Gossamer bomb right in front of it.
Understood, sir. I completely.
It's gonna be away from them.
Into its face.
Hopefully.
Okay, this is problematic.
What's wrong?
Remember what he was talking about? Them party wipes, guys.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
Here
we
we are.
might get one tonight.
There we go. There it is.
Cthulhutech might end a few months early.
I was looking for it. All right, so now that I had to try to find one of his items, guys, so I apologize for that. Now,
Oh, no problem.
what we're gonna
I'll take the cue from Ray's earlier YouTube video too. If shit goes bad, we can run.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
running is always
We're
a
ta-
viable
we're a
option.
tactical team.
All right, I'm gonna put
Right,
this Tager image up, or let me do the Centurion image up really quick. So
And that's a very much how I see us
Ooh,
operating.
nice.
Is if tactically we start losing our tactical advantage, we bounce out until we have attack advantage again.
So
Absolutely.
this is essentially the mech that's coming towards you guys, right?
That's pretty cool looking.
Yeah, so it's got a charge beam for its right arm. It's got that functional fist for the left hand. Now, as you can see, as it gets closer, once the door opens, you can see the front breastplate of the armor had been impacted. Like there's a crack there. That's how something got inside. And there
that's
have
where
been
it is.
like foliage-covered vines that are kind of like bridging the gap to kind of patch it a little bit. But that is definitely a way in. You know, whatever it is, it's the body that's inside there has obviously been taken over by these things. As you see it kind of shamble its way into the warehouse. Now,
Flashbang.
all right, Gossamer Bomb.
I'm broadcasting it. Flashbang. Landing the Gossamer Bomb. It's a challenging tenacity test.
So it's a 16, I believe it is, for challenging. Let me double check.
Just so Ray is aware, I'm going to be keeping a strafing motion back there, so it's got to try and lock onto me while my team is fucking it up.
Okay, yeah. And 16 is the standard
I'm
difficulty
already
for
bait. May
challenging.
as well fucking play into it.
Just pick up the body of the one dude and carry it with you.
It gets a 14. So it loses its next two actions.
Loses two actions.
So essentially, as
That
this
gives me time to
thing
do shit.
enters the doorway, you can see the Gossamer Bomb get thrown out into that area by Arclight as he kind of does a swoop and a pullback. When it explodes, you have all those threads of Gossamer, like iridescent light flying everywhere, and they just impact against the dome of this helmet and just start bouncing off. And you see this thing kind of take a staggering step backwards as it seems stunned.
You know what I see when he uses that bomb? The way you like the streams of sparkling light that comes off those the fireworks on 4th of July that crackle. They go shh, and
Yeah.
they
Yeah,
kind of shoot up.
Oh,
That's
nice.
exactly what I see.
Effectively.
Yes.
What I see with that Gossamer bomb.
Yeah.
That's really a really cool image.
So you guys get a full round of action. Actually, you get 2 before it can do anything. So what's the plan here? Like, it is integrity scale. Like, this, make no mistake, it's got essentially 250 vitality.
That's fine. I'm climbing up the back of it, and I'm gonna phase inside and open the door and push whatever's inside out.
So-
you evicted.
You're going to need to make a incredibly difficult, we're going to say it's a hard tenacity roll to try to pass through this.
Okay.
Yeah, because they're
It's
built
just
for
straight
this
tenacity at that point, yeah.
Yep.
That's true. They are built to fight us, like things like us.
Right,
so
things like you,
that
yeah.
makes sense.
Us and
Oh,
Holy
what the ever
shit.
living
That's why
piss
the 40.
fuck.
40.
God, for reals?
So, there,
Four of a kind.
God.
yeah, that's stupid. So,
That is real
essentially,
stupid.
this,
I'm done.
well, this changes things. Essentially, you get
This
to
is my
the back.
once in a lifetime really good fucking roll, okay?
Right. You get to the back, you hop up, and you wrap your clawed fingertips along that handle you can see, like where the mechs are picked up so they can be deployed. And you pull yourself up, and you see the hatch in the back that opens up to where the user would be slid inside in the suit, right? You reach through it, and you actually unlock it from the inside, like an emergency escape. So you pop the back hatch. The hatch, like, you can feel it, that weird pressure as it pushes through you. Now, the reason it was so difficult, mind you, you dug deep and you managed to push your way through it, is that you can see and feel the wards as this thing kind of pushes back.
I figured this is why people don't usually do it, is because it's warded or something.
Right, and you see the person on the inside, like, he's got vines wrapped around his throat, and you've got some that are actually going in through his ears. And as you open that back hatch with the emergency escape, it looks up to you, and you hear it just gargle the words, "Help me," as he gets blown out the back hatch because you hit the emergency escape.
Hey, Veda, open fire.
He skids to the ground, and you can see that this infestation of bark and vines have taken over the entire inside of the mech. And as he gets thrown out, the vines snap off of him, and he just kind of clatters to the ground and kicks up a nice cloud of dirt and dust as he rolls across that the concrete border and like the dirt on the outside of the warehouse. The mech itself, with no pilot, deactivates, and you see it just kind of slump.
Do we need to roll
I'll literally
initiative?
just dismount
No.
and
It's blind for two full turns.
Slag it. Slag the guy.
Oh shit! Wait, let
Oh,
me
a
know when the
guy?
next round is.
So the mech is okay. So the mech, this thing
say,
can't operate the mech
is
on
the
its own.
guy still a guy?
He looks one of those spore things that you guys all murdered in here. He looks like he's in the way of being converted there.
Target 1. Target 2 is mech that can move.
Okay.
No, the mech, we can walk the fuck outside so they don't even know it came here. Hopefully somebody can drive that thing.
I'll give her a go.
I'm gonna kill the pilot.
Okay. How do you want to do that? Do you want to like burn him to death? Or are you just going to crush him?
Pull him in, first off, and then close the door.
I thought the door was already closed.
No, you open the door to let this thing in.
Yeah,
I
pull
will
him in
just-
and close the door.
I will just pick him up and just as I'm carrying him in, just let him burn to death and let this whatever nuke away too. Like I'll just cleanse the whole fucking thing as I'm bringing his body in.
Yeah, so
When
you
you're done, yeah.
you toss him over one molten shoulder, and again, as he starts to die, the spores will start to cast themselves off, but they're just engulfed by your heat. So it's whenever Ember walks in with this pilot in his pilot suit across his shoulder, you guys will see like sparks just start flying off the corpse as he's incinerating all of the sporelings and the pollen that are trying to escape from this dying body. And by the time he makes it back towards the office, it's just a crittered, a blackened, burned, and stinking corpse.
Burn the two in there, and then when you come back out, put your arm inside that mech and try not to do any permanent damage to the mech, but burn the shit inside of there.
Well, we can tell that the day's gone a little interesting for our Tager pack here. They've learned a bit more about what's actually happening with this massive foliage that's overtaken the apartment building, which has also apparently sent spore-possessed corpses or individuals after them, one of which was actually wearing a NEG mech. So what they do from here is kind of up in the air. They've been attacked. They know they want to check some things out. We'll see what they do next time.